This time on KEI Fabrication.
Children. Hide all the women and children. All the grinding's done. Time to clean the garage. Well folks, I just came back from the scrapyard. So I ran up to the scrapyard. Well, we're up here at the junkyard. Well, we're back in the junkyard. Well folks, hopefully today, this morning, it's a really nice morning. Hopefully it's the start of a really fun day. I won't tell you what I'm up to yet. Let's see how the day progresses. Most of this is just winging it, and see how it goes. Yeah, right? Oh, we got a collection of parts here. Let's see what we can do to try to patch something up to get this thing home. I'm an hour away, so we'll see. Oh, we got enough pieces here. I might be able to get something tacked together to get me home. Oh, we've got it tacked together. I'm just going to put it in and roll it over and see where I need to straighten it before I fully weld it. Well, folks, I'm back on the road. The guys at Authority Auto scrounged up a drive shaft for me to cut into pieces and weld to what was left of mine. Got a little bit of vibration going on here on the highway, just trying to not be a menace to going too slow in traffic, and crossing my fingers to make it home, praying to God that the thing hangs together. So kind of in a difficult situation. My cell phone is almost dead. I'm trying to save it so I can text home. They can come and rescue me with a car trailer. And you know, short on funds. You know, anyway, bad position to be in. So I just that's where I started my day out today. Just going back past there. And so again, I got another hour to go. See if I can make it. So according to this sign, I'm 18 miles away from the Rhode Island line, and then I'm another 8 miles away from there to home. So far so good. Things are working well. Hopefully we don't have to call out the rescue mission with the truck and car trailer. Well, I made it to the state line. 2 more exits to go. The Lord has blessed me with great friends, persistence, and just watched over me here, that's for sure. Alright, this is my exit. Things are looking up. Alright folks, it's 5:30 in the morning, the day after the dyno event. I did make it home okay, and what I'm going to do now is, I think when the tranny broke, when the drive shaft broke, I think I might have popped the tail shaft housing, because there's a leak here, which is I'm not happy about, but you can see the tranny dripping. So I don't know if I broke the case or the tail shaft housing or what, but anyway, I need to get to the bottom of it and figure it out. So I'm gonna whip the drive shaft that I made out of it. You can see our welded joints there. We just but let me tell you something, folks, right now. This saved probably my life and the life of my friend who was standing next to the truck when it made its pull. I don't know if you can see it, but there is some stress marks there where this drive shaft hoop really was flexed hard. So I'm actually gonna have to go in and re-weld that. It was a violent explosion, but the drive shaft almost never touched the tunnel where I was sitting, and it actually kept it contained. The front half of the drive shaft was contained in this hoop. The back half obviously broke out. You can see the tranny oil down here. This did take a pretty good whack when it first let go, the gas tank. So this is the factory safety guard here. I may actually put an extension on that and put another shield in place. So there's the back half of where we sleeved the shaft just to get me home. I was 75 miles away and I made it home, but the big thing that it actually tore away. You can see a little split in the weld over there where the drive shaft hoop took a good solid hit, but it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Anyway, the broken tranny here, as far as the tail shaft housing, it's a pretty common thing. The one other thing that is a potential problem is if it actually bent the output shaft, because it's such a long shaft. When that thing was flying around, it certainly could have made that shaft bend to the point where it's actually got some run out. So that'll be, I don't know if I'll get the tail shaft housing out this morning. I'm just trying to take the shaft with me so I can take it back to the shop that made it and maybe get some answers and start making a plan of attack. I think this, actually looking at this leak and where it's coming from in the tranny, I'm thinking we may have, this is the end of the season for me. I can't afford to, if the tranny is hurt, I'm done. So, alright, I'm going to get to work taking this apart. Alright folks, I was able to get the tail shaft housing out this morning. Hopefully you can see that it actually split it from one side all the way over to the other. Right. You can see it coming all the way across and start working its way back up. And if I flip this thing over, you can see that it is cracked all the way through to the inside. So that's where the leak was coming from. So when that drive shaft let go, it was at 113 miles an hour at 5,600 RPM. So when it is under a load, especially on the rollers on a dyno, and then all of a sudden you release that, and then you got this weight flailing around on the end of the tail shaft, it flexed the housing and actually snapped it. The good news is I spun the output shaft over and it does not appear that the output shaft is bent. So hopefully a new drive shaft, a new tail shaft housing. I got to check the tranny mount because obviously the tranny mount flexed, and maybe we'll be back on the road. But again, my budget is completely shot. The new drive shaft is going to kill any race entry fees or fuel or anything like that to get to where I need to go. So my season's pretty much done. Disappointing. I'm glad it happened under controlled conditions, and I didn't make it to drag week, but I'm having drag week like failures. So anyway, we'll keep you posted. Alright, it's 5 after 6. I gotta get to work. So I'm going to load these parts up, take the drive shaft with me. After work I'm going to go to the drive shaft shop and we'll see what happens. Okay folks, as I showed you, the drive shaft failure cracked the housing from basically from way up here on this side all the way across to this side. Again, that's pretty typical of a violent drive shaft failure, so it's to be expected. What I didn't expect is to be able to find an AC Delco part on Amazon for it's like $33 delivered. It comes with the seal, it comes with the bushing on the inside, it has the O-ring and the dust boot seal combo in the back, and the seal has already got grease on it. One thing I did read is that the hole, I have to transfer the speed sensor from this housing to this housing, and I did read that this is not tapped. So what I suspect is that the factory that they just utilize something that is a self-threading screw. We'll see how that goes. If not, I'll throw a tap in here and make sure that it's going to be put in. So this will solve that problem. Obviously the Mazda is still down. I'm having a new drive shaft made. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on another component of the video on drive shafts. I learned something new and I think it's really important to share with you and to help you prevent this from happening on your project. When you are having a new drive shaft made, there is definitely some design criteria that we need to take into consideration other than just horsepower and torque. So we'll talk about that more in a little while. For now, I'm going to transfer the speed sensor over to the new housing, and then I'm going to put the new housing in, get it set back down on the transmission mount, and that's as far as I can go with it today. Folks, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to diagnose a massive vibration in the truck when I go down the road, and I don't know if you can see that, but it appears that the pinion flange has some pretty good run out. I don't know if the flange is bent or the actual pinion itself is bent, so that's something I need to diagnose next by putting a dial indicator on when it's on the lift. The thing that bothers me here is, hopefully you can see this drive shaft movement relative to the gas tank. This is the gas tank right here, and the drive shaft is the black thing behind it. Man, I'm getting what appears to be like 1/8 of an inch of run out. So I'm trying to, that's got to be what my, I've tried everything. I've tried put it in neutral, coasting. The vibration is still there, so it seems as though whenever the drive shaft is rotating. So I'm trying to give you a perspective here of something relative to the drive shaft turning and the motion that is resulting from it spinning. So I'm really trying to figure out where the problem resides. It does not appear that the issue is up here at the transmission output shaft. It definitely appears like it is back here at the pinion. So I'm going to put a dial indicator on the pinion. I I've got another 8.8 rear over there that has a flange on it. I may try swapping the flanges out and see if the problem goes away. It's really, really bothersome going down the highway. There's no getting around it. I hope that it isn't just a poorly manufactured drive shaft. So I'm going to try to get my potential problem solved before I go to the drive shaft shop and ask them to rebalance it or run it and check it for run out. So anyway, just trying to get to the bottom of this issue. The dyno saga continues.
Next time on KEI Fabrication.
Alright folks, I just got my new drive shaft back from the drive shaft shop, and I learned a tremendous amount in this exercise, and like any good education, it costs a lot of money. I am just sick over what it costs to repair the damage from this drive shaft failure. What I'm going to do here is I'm hopefully going to help you folks make sure that you get the right drive shaft for your application in terms of strength.